Good morning, councillors, Ladies and gentlemen, can we kindly stand for the Speaker of Council, Councilor Vasco da Gama.
Thank you, councillors. Can we settle down, please? Just to remain standing. Thank you, councillors. For a moment of silence, please. Thank you. You may be seated. Councillors, just to find out whether all the councillors have actually signed the register. Have you made sure that you've signed the register? There is 2 registers. The one is for the earlier meeting. Those that were not here don't have to sign. Those that were here, please, I hope you've made sure that you sign both registers. Thank you. In terms of Rule 7 of the Standing Rules and Orders of Council, 2016, Precincts of Council. The precincts of council is the area of land and every building or part of a building under the legislature's control, including the chamber in which the proceedings of council are conducted and galleries and lobbies of the chambers. Committee rooms and other meetings places provided or used primarily for council's purposes. Every other building or part of a building provided or used in connection with the proceedings of council, while so used, and every part of the buildings in which the chambers are situated, every forecourt, yard, garden, enclosure, or open space opportunent thereto, insofar as it may be necessary in a case where council or committees convene beyond the seat of council. These rules shall apply as if the premises where council or committees are meeting were within the precincts of council. I therefore declare all venues where the councillors are connecting from this council meeting as precincts of council. Secretary.
It is hereby notified that the 3rd Ordinary Council meeting of the City of Johannesburg Municipality will be held at the Constance Konipabela Council Chamber at the Metropolitan Centre in Braamfontein on Wednesday and Thursday, which is 16th and 17th of March 2022 at 10 o'clock a.m. In line with the Directive 6.7 of the regulations issued by the Minister of COCTA on the 3rd of July 2020, read together with the adjusted level 1 regulations issued by the Minister of COCTA on the 30th December 2021. Our first item is opening.
Executive Mayor of the City of Johannesburg, Councilor Mpopalazzi, Whip of Council, Councilor Tyrell Myers, all political party leaders and whips, members of the mayoral committee, chair of chairs, Councilor Colleen Makubele, chairpersons of Section 79 committees, fellow councillors, acting city manager, Mr. Tian Ellis, acting secretary to council, Mr. Andile Rubina, officials of the city of Johannesburg, residents of the city of Johannesburg, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to the third ordinary council meeting of the city of Johannesburg Municipality. Firstly, let me thank all the teams that ensured that the special council meeting in honor of our late councillor Mufokeng was a successful one. I once again send sincere condolences and wish the families and friends of our late councillor peace during this difficult period. May the soul of Councillor Mpho Mufokeng rest in peace and in perfect peace. Fellow councillors, the month of March commemorates Human Rights Day, which is historically linked with the 21st of March 1960 and the events of Sharpeville. On that day, 69 people died and 180 were wounded when police fired on a peaceful crowd. That had gathered in protest against the apartheid pass laws. It became an iconic date in our country's history, which also marks an affirmation by ordinary people rising in unison to proclaim their rights. Rights which include equality, human dignity, freedom of movement and residence, language and culture, as well as a right to life. In the spirit of Human Rights Month, I implore us to foster greater social cohesion and national building and nation building so as to combat the scourge of racism, xenophobia, gender-based violence, and femicide. Closely linked to Human Rights Day is an International Women's Day, which was celebrated on the 18th of March 2022. International Women's Day is a global day celebrating the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. The day also marks a call to action for celebrating gender parity, with significant worldwide groups coming together to celebrate women's achievements, or really for women's equality. I know that our Chair of Chairs, Councilor Colleen Makubele, hosted a very powerful workshop with women across the city, and encouraging them to lead with influence, and wish to commend her sterling work in this space. Happy International Women's Month to all women in our council, our city, and our country. Ladies and gentlemen, the community-based planning sessions have been finally concluded, and while the process of collating and analysis of feedback continues, we now focus on another aspect of public participation and ward governance, which are the ward committees. Please be informed that I've had to postpone the ward committee elections that were to take place from Saturday the 12th and the 19th of March to April 2022. Unfortunately, there was no option but to postpone them due to procurement challenges, as well as the number of objections received, which require thorough investigation. Ladies and gentlemen, the ward committees work with ward councillors to ensure the public participation process in a ward represents the full diversity of interest of that ward. They are democratically elected to serve for a period of 5 years, attend monthly meetings, and advise the councillors on community needs, mood, and perceptions, as well as inform the community of municipal developments and resolutions. It is therefore imperative to ensure that every aspect of the process is carried out with precision and transparency, and we do trust that the process will resume in a matter of time. Councillors, allow us to take a moment to acknowledge Human Rights Day on Monday, the 21st of March, and whilst we do this, let us not forget that those suffered on that fateful day in 1960 in Sharpeville. I would like to congratulate Councillor Chloe Homer for achieving full accreditation for local government Women Leadership Development Program with the Nelson Mandela School of Governance. You can rise, Councillor. Before we continue with the meeting, can legal please assist with the verification of the number of councillors present as to determine a quorum? Councillor Moerani.
Good morning, Speaker. Good morning, councillors. Speaker, during your acknowledgements, I heard you acknowledging Mr. Christian Ehlers as acting city manager. I looked for him. I saw Mr. Frederick. I said, what is happening? Can we be taken into confidence? Who is the acting city manager? Who is acting chief operations officer? Thank you, Speaker. Unless Floyd changes something.
I didn't see the acting city manager in the chambers, and therefore apologizes. I was informed that it would be Elias. Okay, thank you.
Speaker.
Can legal please verify the numbers? Okay, they're busy with doing it.
Speaker.
Thank you very much. I don't see the voice. I hear the voice, but I don't see the hand. If you can raise your hand. Oh, okay. On my left-hand side, Councillor Sitole.
Lochise,
Yeah, go on,
Speaker.
Councillor.
Speaker, kinemraro ngirarekile ngale kuhlezi khona imvakashi zethu akunamdumo akunasithombe abantu bahlezi ngale ukuthi sibesenzana kusukela ekseni ngabo 8 akhange bezwe ukuthi kwenzakalani nje nangifika ngiyababuza nisihleze kuhle but awa asihlalanga kuhle akuna next lana sazi ukuthi nibe nisiletheleni la sibe sibawa ukuthi nisihelebhe hle bona ukuthi umraro lo ngeze wararululwa namsinya thokoza.
Ngiyabonga, Councillor. I'll hear from protocol. The connectivity to where the visitors are sitting, I believe it's not on, including a possibility of seeing what's going on here. Can we just ensure that there is connectivity? Thanks. Chief Whip.
Thank you, Speaker. Can you please also acknowledge the 4 new councillors in the chamber? Thank you.
We're not there yet, Councillor.
Speaker, on your right at the back.
On my right, Councillor Martin.
No. Speaker, I don't know how many other people this morning when we arrived at council slipped and fell. I was certainly one of them. I believe there's about 10 of us. And I don't know why, it almost felt like we were being sabotaged walking in this morning. or that somebody had a camera somewhere and we were being captured for camera purposes, slipping and falling all over the place. But, you know, we can't have that if we come into council, that we walk in and we're slipping and falling, and the council's liable for if we damage ourselves. Thank you. Sorry, I just feel that I needed to make that comment. Please, in future, no shiny floors on council day, please.
I must apologize for that, Councillor. They cleaned the place yesterday. I don't know what material they used on the floor, but it seemed more slippery than previously. As you would see, notice that there has been some cleaning around the chambers and obviously outside, so I profusely apologize. I've asked the officials to put up notices that the floor is slippery this morning, but as you know, we've got printing problems and could not print a document that would be seen by everybody. Thanks, I really apologize for that. Councillors, the councillors that signed 255. So we do have a quorum and we're going to continue.
We're on the second item of the agenda, which is applications for leave of absence.
Councillors, before we get to the apologies, I'd like to welcome newly sworn in councillors. Councillor Moatse from Action SA, just to rise, please. Thank you, Councillor. Right on top there, the back. And then Councillor Mashallah, Action SA. Also rising there with a nice pink dress, or no, it's not a dress. And then Councillor Johnson, Action SA, just to rise there with a yellow dress, if we see her. And then Councillor Mpatlele, EFF, not a newbie in council. He's back and full of beans as usual. Thank you, councillors. Is there any apologies? Councillor Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Councillor David Brand will be arriving a bit late. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And right at the back there, I can't recognize the councillor. Councillor, please rise. Yes.
Thank you,
I
Speaker.
can't see that far.
Thank you, Speaker. It's Councillor Makuba.
Oh, Councillor Makuba.
I have two apologies for the IFP. Councillor Nkomo's family bereavement, and Councillor Kanyile will leave at 2 for an important meeting in his ward, and he'll be back around 3:30. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. And right at the back there, Councillor Franco's raised his hand. Councillor Franco, first.
Thank you, Speaker. Just an apology for Councillor Paul Smith. He's in bed with bronchitis. Thank you.
I have received that, Councillor. Any further apologies? Oh, Councillor Arnolds.
Someone let the cats out again. Thank you, Speaker. Apologies for Councillor Nontenja. She has just asked me to register it. She's ill.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Whistler?
Thank you, Speaker. Apology for Councillor Mtimbu. She's recently had her baby, so she's not able to make council today. Thank you.
Thank you. And then, councillors, is those apologies noted? Noted, councillors? Thank you very much. Councillors, before we continue, I've received a communication from the leader of executive business. May I humbly request that the following committee items be included in the council agenda for the 16th and 17th of March. Item 70, just to read what it's all about. Report regarding alleged non-compliance and or misconduct by the acting city manager in the procurement of handheld devices and CCTV cameras in the public safety department, and request to investigate the allegations, which is obviously an in-committee item which will be dealt with at that stage when we are in committee. The next one is item 71, a report regarding alleged non-compliance and or misconduct by the head of Department of Public Safety in the procurement of CCTV cameras, and request to investigate the allegations. I think those are the two reports that have been requested from the executive. Thank you. Councillor?
Thank you, Speaker. No, Speaker, I'm just rising here to check with you whether is it deliberate or you have forgotten to acknowledge the birthdays of Councillor before you take
We're
us
not
through
there
the
yet.
Okay.
Risat Lagamo. Are you, is it your birthday, Councillor? Okay. No, I just thought that you were eager and you brought us all a big cake so that we can celebrate. Thanks.
Yeah, our next item is official notices.
Councillors, please join me in wishing the following councillors well as they celebrate their birthdays during the month of March. Councillor Cornelius Boer, Councillor Hamilton Chisanga, Councillor Laurie Coogan, Councillor Melvin Davis, Councillor Franco de Lange, Councillor David Foley, Councillor Sibenzile Tlatswayo, Councillor Miglen Kanda, Councillor Mosehi Geletsane, Councillor Mulati Libia, Councillor Temba Mabunda, Councillor Sitembelu Majola, Councillor Helen Makuba, that spoke earlier on, Councillor Tsikani Makubele, Councillor Thompson